Hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to show you my Captain America setup for the Sigma and Octantis, which at the moment is the 700-day login reward, though you could potentially get it a lot sooner in the future because they are working on a daily tribute rework. Now, I already did a quick look video for the Sigma and Octantis when I first got it, and I showcased the build there, and that build, while pretty good, it was really strong, it was basically just a standard Blood Rush condition overload setup, was pretty bad for the shield throw, which is the unique mechanic that comes with the Sigma and Octantis, where if you're in the air and you attack, instead of doing an air attack, you will actually throw your shield. This will do about 1 hit's worth of damage and open the enemy up to a finisher. Now, the problem with the previous build was that it just didn't work with the shield throw very well. There was too much prep time before I could do good damage. I had Blood Rush and Drifting Contact, so I had to build up my combo counter before I would crit, and I had Condition Overload with Status Mod, so I had to hit the enemy a couple of times to proc status, so that Condition Overload would kick in and I would do big damage. So while the build was really strong, it would absolutely tear through even sortie level enemies, I didn't like it because I wanted to use the shield throw. It's one of the most fun melee mechanics in the game as of right now. So I finally decided to put together a build that's definitely not as strong when just bashing enemies with the Sigma, but it's a hell of a lot better when throwing the Octantis. And here's the build that I ended up going with. It's a 5 Forma setup where I added 2 Vs and 3 dashes. Now, the stance I'm using is Fire Harbinger, which is a lot of fun. I kind of warmed up to the crazy flailing, so that's what we have there. And then I went for Primed Fury rather than Berserker, even though I'm scaling crit, and that's because I didn't want any build up, I just wanted the attack speed. Especially since I also went with Spoiled Strike, which gives you some generic damage scaling but lowers attack speed. Then I decided to sacrifice some damage scaling in favor of crit chance, so I'm running Sacrificial Pressure and Sacrificial Steel, which, while being 1 rank from the top, gives me I think 12% extra crit chance, though it doesn't give me as much damage scaling as Primed Pressure Point would. Then, since I'm scaling crit, I went for Organ Shatter, and then I have Molten Impact for heat damage and Primed Fever Strike with Choke and Touch for corrosive. Now, while this build isn't as strong as the previous build, it's not terrible. It can still kill sortie level enemies, it just takes a little bit longer. But my goodness, is the shield throw a lot spicier, especially when you get a crit on a headshot. The damage difference on the shield throw between this build and the previous build is night and day. It's still not amazing, but it works more than well enough for the star chart, even high level star chart, so high level fissures and high level nightmare missions. There are only 3 or I guess 4 units that I found so far that are very resistant to it, and it will take a lot of shield throws to take them down. Those are Bombards, Napalms, Noxus, and of course the Juggernaut. The vast majority of the other units will go down in a single shield throw, which is exactly what I wanted. And it feels good, like really good. I absolutely hated how stupidly strong the weapon was with the previous setup, but as soon as I jumped into the air and threw the Octantis, it would just tickle the enemy and fly right back. This is a much better setup if you want to have fun. I mean, if you want to do big damage, you want to go with the build that I did before. Or alternatively, you engineer yourself a Plague Zol like my poor man Otto's Prime and you demolish the enemies through Condition Overload. I'm so happy that this setup worked out and that I can actually just run around the star chart and the planes and just one-shot most enemies with the shield throw. Though I still want to get a Riven for the Sigma and Octantis, mainly because of the crit chance. It's not very reliable, so a crit Riven would be fantastic. Because every now and then, towards the end of the star chart, even sort of the mid-tier units can survive the shield throw if you body shot them and you don't crit, and that feels pretty bad. But as I've said already, I'm super happy with this setup even without a Riven because it's exactly what I wanted it to be and it's just a ton of fun to use. So as always guys, I thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed the video and I will see you next time. Bye bye.